You won't believe what happened at our company party. I was rambling away, just slamming down the last sip of my usual cinnamon tea. She peeked out from the kitchen, holding a mug in her hands. You know how it is, right? Corporate event. Let's drink to the company, to friendship, to the future, and to everything else in the world. In short, we raise our glasses to both the possible and the impossible. I was in a carefree mood, enjoying the course of the evening. This time, no excessive gestures, no loud speeches. I just puffed out my cheeks and carried myself stylishly. Well, mostly. She raised an eyebrow, took a sip from her mug like she was at a funeral, her expression somewhere between mild curiosity and a touch of condescension. So, I kept going, feeling like the star of a bad play. You know, Anna, my colleagues are all eyes on me. Seriously, one's more stunning than the next. Oh, who's that? Marina from accounting. She grinned, eyes twinkling. She's always confusing her folders with spreadsheets. Don't you like her? I teased back. What do you mean? She asked, puzzled. I feigned resentment. No, she practically lives in the office. Not my type. And what about Sylvia from HR? I let out a dramatic sigh, as if reminiscing about some wild story. She comes up to me in a red dress and starts flirting openly. Anna snorted, but her smile faltered a little. You're the Casanova of our time, aren't you? Well, of course, at first I held back, but then I didn't even realize when I was captivated by her charms. It was at that moment that I realized it was time to put an end to this whole joke and give it a chance. But something in her face made me stop. Her eyes narrowed, and there was tension pulling at the corners of her lips. Are you serious? She asked, her voice dropping an octave. It hit me then that the mood was taking a sharp turn. All right. I spread my hands, swaying a little. I paused in the kitchen for a moment, trying to figure out what was going on, but then I followed her anyway. Anna was sitting on the couch in the living room, pulling her legs up and wrapping herself in a blanket. Andrew, she began, her eyes fixed somewhere over my shoulder. Her voice was softer, almost as if she was afraid of breaking. Since you brought it up. I frowned, not quite following where this was going. Do you remember that New Year's party 2 years ago? She asked. I nodded, still unsure of the direction. Of course I do. I was working right up until midnight and couldn't make it to pick her up. She came back late, all excited, said it was a blast. Is something wrong? I asked, though I was already starting to feel a tightness inside. The boss was there. You know him. He'd just started with the company. My anxiety spiked. So, I asked, trying to stay calm, but I could feel my stomach turning. She avoided my eyes, her voice tight. We were drunk. It was just one time. It was as if I couldn't immediately grasp what she was trying to say. Wait, what did you just say? I asked, my voice trembling. She met my gaze, and I saw a sharp pain flicker in her eyes. I cheated on you. The words hit me like a ton of bricks. Everything seemed to stop. Her confession echoed in my head, over and over. What did you do? I barely managed to whisper. Well, it was a long time ago. After that night, I tried to bury it. Her voice was shaky, like she was desperately trying to minimize it. It didn't mean anything. It didn't mean anything. I couldn't hold it in anymore. A cold, dark fire exploded inside me. And you call that nothing? She started to cry. Her face twisted in agony as the tears began to fall. Andrew, I didn't want this to happen. I thought I could handle it. But you, do you even hear yourself? My heart was pounding now, and I jumped to my feet as if I'd been struck by lightning. You cheated, and now you're acting like you just bought new curtains. I thought you'd understand. Understand? Understand what? My voice was raw with disbelief. She reached for me, but I took a step back, unable to move closer. You were just talking about your colleagues, about Sylvia, you said. Yes, it was a joke. I laughed, but the sound was hollow, sharp. It's just a joke, can't you get that? Her face went completely blank, frozen. A joke? Are you kidding me? It's a joke. I could barely keep it together now, my voice shaking with fury. She didn't say anything. I could see it in her eyes, slow recognition, like she was starting to understand the weight of what had just happened. You were joking, she whispered. I started. She trailed off, but I couldn't even listen anymore. And you've ruined everything. The words spilled out of me, burning with anger, frustration, and an overwhelming sense of betrayal. Andrew. She stepped closer, but I recoiled again. Don't touch me, don't. I shouted, backing away, my breath coming out in ragged bursts. She covered her face with her hands, trying to shield herself from the storm between us. But I want to fix this, I swear. Fix it. Do you really think you can fix this? I was shaking, my whole body tense with the weight of everything that had just exploded between us. I grabbed my jacket off the chair, pulling it on roughly as I made my way to the door. Where are you going? She cried out. Stop it. I shouted over my shoulder, my voice breaking. And without another word, I slammed the door behind me. The glass in the frame rattled, and the noise echoed through the empty hallway. It was cold outside, biting right through my jacket, making my fingers feel numb. But I barely even registered the chill. The city around me buzzed with its own pulse. Distant hums of cars, lights glowing softly in windows, the warm yellow glow of homes filled with life. And here I was, standing alone in an empty alley, staring down at the asphalt. It looked so dark, so smooth, almost unnatural in its shine. We had been together for 8 years. 8 years of what I thought was a solid, honest relationship, with Anna being everything to me. My home, my rock, my unwavering support. But now it all felt like some kind of cruel joke, a twisted illusion that had been shattered. I thought back to when we first met. She worked at a bookstore, and I had asked her for help picking out a gift for my nephew. She laughed, genuinely, openly, without a care in the world. Her laugh had been so pure, so real. But how did we end up here? The same question kept cycling in my mind. Why? Why did she do it? And why didn't she tell me before? Why is it only coming to light now, when I've been playing the fool this whole time? Or maybe it's me. Maybe I worked too much and didn't pay enough attention. But then again, no. This was her choice, her decision. A lump caught in my throat. I had always believed in her, believed in us. And now everything felt like a sick joke. And tomorrow, I don't even know what's going to happen.